We don't come back again. H Radio School don't come back.
Hello everyone, I am Mr. D, your favorite radio school teacher. On February 1st, H Radio School will be coming back to teach you literacy, numeracy, and STEM subjects.
This is for out-of-school children.
We will teach primary topics on Mondays at 11 a.m., secondary topics on Tuesdays at 11 a.m., and we will have a repeat episode on Wednesdays.
Hope all of una don hear o. Make una tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays around 11 a.m. Parents, if your pikin no dey go school, make una try make dem go school for radio so your pikin fit learn. This is an ACE charity initiative powered by Grand Force Foundation.
This nursery and primary school session is for out-of-school children. Hello listeners, my name is Miss Amaka and I am your literacy teacher on ACE Radio School. I hope you're ready to learn with your books and pencils. Fantastic! This week, we will be learning what sound letter T makes. We will learn how to identify adverbs in sentences. Before we start learning what we are to do this week, we will be revising the letter sound L to S. Are you ready? Great! Let's sing. Letter L says L. Letter L says L. Every letter makes a sound. Letter L says L. 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 Left. L. L. Log. Letter M says M. Letter M says M. Every letter makes a sound. Letter M says M. 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 Mango. M. M. Man. Letter N says N. Letter N says N. Every letter makes a sound. Letter N says N. 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 Neck. N. N. Night. Letter O says Letter O says Every letter makes a sound. Letter O says otter. Orange. Letter P says P. Letter P says P. Every letter makes a sound. Letter P says P. 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 Pain. P. P. Plantain. Letter Q says Q. Letter Q says Q. Every letter makes a sound. Letter Q says Q. 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 Queen. Q. Q. Question. Letter R says R. Letter R says R. Every letter makes a sound. Letter R says R. 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 Right. R. R. Red. Letter S says S. Letter S says S. Every letter makes a sound. Letter S says S. 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 Sun. S. S. Snail. Amazing! Now I will be introducing the letter sound T. The letter sound T sounds T, T, T. You will say the sound and move your head from left to right like you are watching a football match. Let's make the sound T with our heads moving from left to right. T, The sound T starts with words like t, t, teddy, t, t, tent, t, t, tennis, t, t, ten, t, t, tiger, and t, t, tail. Can you think of other words that starts with the sound T? Okay, tell mommy and daddy some of the words you can remember. Good. Let us talk about adverbs. Adverbs are words that describe a verb. Do you remember what a verb is? A verb is an action or doing word, that is, things we do every day. Example: run, jump, walk, bath, sleep, cook, and play. Adverb describes a verb. It describes the verb by telling us how an action is done, when an action is done, where an action is done, how much an action is done, and how often an action is done. Now, we have to learn how to identify adverbs in sentences. Always remember that adverb describes a verb. Once you identify the verb in a sentence, to identify an adverb is to ask yourself, what word is telling me when, how, and where the action is done? Example: Ademola washes his clothes every day. In the sentence, the verb is washed. The word every day tells us how often he washes his clothes. So, every day is an adverb. Another example: Abigail runs fast to the market. In the sentence, the verb is runs. The word fast tells us how she runs to the market. Excellent! Let us do a quick exercise. Ibrahim plays loudly with his friends. What is the verb in the sentence? Did you say loudly? No. Play is the verb in the sentence. Loudly is describing how Ibrahim played with his friends. The boy danced yesterday after breakfast. What is the verb in the sentence? Did you say breakfast? No. The verb is danced. The word yesterday tells us when the boy danced. So, yesterday is an adverb. Great! Okay, listeners, we have come to the end of today's class. It's time for your homework. I will ask you 2 questions. Send your answer as a text message indicating your name, gender, state you live in, class, and subject to 070-3630-3182. Now, listen carefully to the questions. Are you ready? Here it goes. Question number 1. Make one sentence with an adverb, indicating the verb that the adverb describes. Question number 2. List 2 words that starts with the sound T. Thank you for learning with me today. Join me for another fun literacy lesson next week. Bye!
This is an ACE charity initiative powered by Grand Force Foundation.
This nursery and primary session is for out-of-school children. Hello there! I am your Ace Radio School Numeracy teacher. My name is Scholar Mobile and you can call me Miss S. I am excited you're here today. Make out time to join me subsequently. Today, we will do more activities on division. Now, before we begin, let me find out. Do you have your book and pencil? For this lesson, we need counters. These are stones or matches. Quick, get something you can count with. I'm waiting for you. You have 10 seconds. Good to have you back. Before we go ahead with today's lesson, let's revise what we did in our last lesson. In our last lesson, we defined division as a method of distributing or sharing a group of things into equal parts. We also learned that there are various mathematical signs which can be used to indicate division, such as a short dash with a dot on top and a dot below. A slash or slant line can also be used to represent division sign. We said that when something is divided up, it needs to be put into equal piles. Let's say I have 15 sweets. I gave a child 5 sweets. I gave the second child 6 sweets. And I gave the third child 4 sweets. Is my sharing fair? No. My sharing is not fair because I did not divide equally among the 3 children. Now, I will repeat the same sharing, but this time I will hand out 1 sweet at a time to each child until the sweets are finished, so that all the sweets are shared equally. When 15 sweets are shared equally among 3 children, each child will get 5 sweets each. So 15 divided by 3 equal to 5. Finally, in our last lesson, we did a brief introduction to remainder. We said that sometimes when sharing equally, we might have a remainder or a leftover. The remainder is the portion that is left over after division. For example, when we share 9 things to 2 people, there is a leftover of 1. It means 9 divided by 2 equal to 4 and remainder 1. Today, we'll do some more activities on division. Are you ready with your counters? Remember, division is all about sharing equally. Let us look at some practical examples. Activity 1. It is mango season. Imagine I gave you 10 mangoes to share with your neighbor. How many will each of you get? First step, draw something to represent how many people you will be sharing to. You can draw heads, circles, or whatever you choose. In this case, you're sharing to 2 people, which is you and your neighbor. What do you want to use to represent yourselves? You can draw 2 heads or 2 circles. Have you done that? Now, it is time to start sharing. You can use strokes or counters such as stones, matchsticks or bean seeds to represent the objects you're sharing. Remember, the object you're sharing is mango. Okay, let's go sharing the 10 mangoes between you and your neighbor. You start by counting 1 for me, 1 for my neighbor, 1 for me again, 1 for my neighbor, 1 for me, and 1 for my neighbor, 1 for me, and 1 for my neighbor. Now, 1 last mango for me and 1 last mango for my neighbor. Have we shared all the 10 mangoes? Let us count the mangoes you have shared to both you and your neighbor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great! We have shared all the 10 mangoes. How many did each of you get? Let us count. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 mangoes. And your neighbor got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 mangoes. Therefore, each of you got 5 mangoes. This means that 10 divided by 2 equal to 5. Activity 2. There are 12 sweets for you to share equally for 3 friends. How many will each friend get? First, let us draw something to represent how many people we're sharing to. Your representation could be heads, circle, or whatever you choose. In this case, let us use heads. To make a head, you start by making a circle, then 2 eyes. Now draw 3 heads in your notebook to represent your 3 friends. I'll give you 10 seconds. Next step, you can use strokes or counters such as stones, matchsticks or bean seeds to represent the objects. If you're using strokes, draw 1 stroke under one head, another stroke under the next head, and a 3rd stroke under the 3rd head. Now continue drawing strokes under each of the 3 heads until you have drawn 12 strokes in total. Make sure you have shared them equally, one after the other. This means each head must have equal number of sweets. Have you finished sharing? The last step, count how many each head got. How many did each head get? Did you say 4? Yes! Each head should have 4 sweets. This means that 12 sweets shared equally for 3 friends will give each person 4 sweets. So 12 divided by 3 equal to 4. Activity 3. Imagine your mom washed 11 clothes and she put them on the line to dry. She told you and your brother to bring in the clothes equally when they are dry because she was going to the market. When the clothes were dry, you both went to the line to pick up the clothes. You picked 1 cloth, then your brother picked 1 cloth. You and your brother picked the 2nd time, the 3rd time and the 4th time, and then the 5th time. Then you discovered that there was 1 cloth left on the line, and you decided to leave it on the line because your mommy asked you to pick an equal number of clothes. How many clothes do you think each child packed from the line? Remember, your mom dried 11 clothes. Is someone saying each child picked 5 clothes from the line? You are correct. Each child picked 5 clothes from the line, and 1 cloth was left on the line. This means 11 shared among 2 children will give us 5 for each child, remainder 1. So 11 divided by 2 is 5, remainder 1. Great job, everyone. We have come to the end of today's lesson, but before we go, let me give you this homework. Are you ready? Before we start, grab your phone. Go to your text message and type your name. Have you done that? Now type your gender. Tell us if you're a boy or a girl. Tell us what state in Nigeria you're in now. Are you in Borno, Kano, or Abuja? Which state are you right now? Type them in. Now the questions. Choose the right option A to C for each question. Question 1. Imagine you have 15 cashew fruits to share to 5 friends. How many cashew fruits will each of your friends get? A. 10 cashew fruits. B. 5 cashew fruits. C. 2 cashew fruits. Question 2. 6 divided by 2 equal to A. 4. B. 2. C. 3. Now send your answers to 070-363-03182. The number again is 070-363-03182. Press send. Do it now. Today, we did some more activities on division. Until next time, keep learning. Remember to bring your book, pencil, and counters to the next class. Bye, everyone.
This is an AIDS charity initiative powered by Grand Force Foundation.
This primary session is for out-of-school children. Hello, listeners. I am your H Radio School Science teacher. My name is Damilare Sanusi, but you can call me Mr. D. Welcome to today's science class on H Radio School. Last week, we learned about the sources of energy. We also learned more on forms of energy. Today, we will be learning about the types of energy. We will also be learning about the sources of energy and the uses of energy. But before we begin, let's sing a song about energy. You can sing with me after my first try. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please bring energy. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind a tree. These little kids have come to play with you, so come down and bring some light with you. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please bring energy. Can you sing with me? All right. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please bring energy. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind a tree. These little kids have come to play with you, so come down and bring some light with you. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please bring energy. All right. Now, let's learn more about energy. In our previous lessons, we've learned about energy. We learned that energy is power that comes from a source and is used to provide light, heat, or to work machines. We also learned about the classifications of energy. We learned that energy is classified into kinetic energy and potential energy. Potential energy is the energy that is stored or at rest, while kinetic energy is energy that is in motion. Today, we will be learning about the types of energy we have and some things we use them for. Like we learned, energy comes in different forms, but they come majorly in the following forms. The first form energy comes in is light energy. Light energy is sometimes called radiant energy. It is the only form of energy that we can see. Can you think of a source of light energy? When we turn on a light bulb, it gives us light. Therefore, the light bulb is a source of light energy. Do you know the biggest source of light energy? Did you say the sun? Yes, the sun is the biggest source of light energy. The sun lights up the world for us. Other sources of light energy are the lamp. Can you think of more examples? How about car headlights? Great. Another type of energy is sound energy. Sound energy is also known as moving energy. It is produced by the back and forth motion of a vibrating object. Sound energy is what we hear when we talk, play musical instruments, or slam a door. Sound energy is used in communicating. Sound waves can travel only through a substance, such as air, water, or solid objects. We also have what is known as electrical energy. Electrical energy is also moving energy. Electrical energy gives us electricity. Did you know you can see electrical energy in nature? You can see electrical energy through a lightning bolt. People have learned how to produce electrical energy and control it. Electrical energy is sent through wires or the air to power such things as light bulbs, ovens, and our televisions. The next type of energy is chemical energy. Chemical energy is stored energy. Food is made up of chemical energy. When we eat, for instance, a fruit like banana, the chemical energy in the banana is then converted or changed by the body into energy that can be used to run, walk, or play. Also, the chemical energy inside a battery can be converted into electrical energy to power a flashlight. Finally, we have mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is potential energy plus kinetic energy. Unlike the other forms of energy, mechanical energy can exist as both potential and kinetic energy. It is all the energy that an object has because of its motion and its position. Machines use mechanical energy to do work. For instance, a hammer uses mechanical energy to drive a nail into a board. When the hammer is raised, It has potential energy from the work done in lifting it. When the hammer is moved towards the nail, the potential energy becomes kinetic energy, which can do the work of driving the nail into the board. When the hammer hits the nail, energy is transferred to the nail and then to the board. Alright, we have come to the end of today's class. Today, we learned more about energy. We learned the different types of energy, such as light energy, mechanical energy, and chemical energy. We also learned about how energy works. For instance, a flashlight uses the chemical energy stored in a battery to give light. I hope you enjoyed learning more about energy. That was fantastic. But before we go, I'd like to give you some homework. I'll ask 2 questions, and you have to send your answers as a text message to this number: 070-363-03182. Don't forget to type your name, gender, which is male or female, class, the state you currently live in, and the subject, which is science. Have you done that? Okay, here are the questions. Question 1. Which of these is not a type of energy? A. Chemical energy. B. Sound energy. C. Field energy. Question 2. Mechanical energy is a combination of kinetic and potential energy. True or false? Remember to send your answers to 070-363-03182. Until I come your way next time, stay safe, wash your hands regularly, and remember, keep learning. Bye, listeners.
This is an ACE charity initiative powered by Grand Force Foundation.